Newsflash takes off with the International Air Transport Association ranking Nigeria and Venezuela as two countries with the highest number of airlines funds trapped in their countries. This is coming at a time the Clearinghouse for Global Airlines is engaging the federal government at all levels to ensure that these issues with trapped funds are resolved. At a two-day Africa Aviation Day in Abuja with the theme Driving Through the Power of Aviation, IATA disclosed that International Airlines funds in Nigeria as at March 2016 stands at $575 million, while that of Venezuela is $3.6 billion. Airlines have for months struggled to repatriate revenue from ticket sales due to delays in both Nigeria and the South American nation's 12-year-old exchange controls, with trapped cash peaking at around $4.1 billion over the summer. As a result of the problem, international airlines have resorted to selling their tickets in dollars because of their inability to access their monies trapped in the Central Bank of Nigeria. Dwindling external reserves for only what it considers essential imports or payments by Nigerians. At the occasion, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport, Mr. Sabiu Zakari, says the federal government is putting measures in place to mitigate the impact of foreign exchange remittance and availability of aviation fuel. Away from home, the Solar Impulse 2 airplane, powered solely by energy from the sun, has landed in Ohio on the latest leg of its historic bid by pilots and developers to fly around the globe without a drop of fuel. The single-seated Solar Impulse 2 aircraft arrived in Dayton some 17 hours after leaving Phoenix Goodyear Airport. The site is of special significance to the pilots as the home base to aviation pioneers Orville and Wilbur Wright. With a wingspan exceeding that of a Boeing 747, an ultra-light carbon fiber skin, and overall weight of a car, the Solar Impulse cruises at speeds ranging from only 34 to 62 miles per hour. The four engines of the propeller-driven aircraft are powered exclusively by energy collected from more than 17,000 solar cells built into its wings. Excess energy is stored in 4 batteries during daylight hours to keep the plane flying after dark. Pilots Bertrand Piccard and André Boschberg have been taking turns piloting the plane on each leg of the journey. The Swiss team's ultimate goal is to achieve the first round-the-world solar-powered flight, part of its campaign to bolster support for clean energy technologies. The team hopes eventually to complete its circumnavigation in Abu Dhabi, the starting point for the journey in March 2015. Next is the future of aviation, where elegance, speed, and comfort is fusing to a new form of traveling, in what is called the Lilium Jet. Lilium is a small-body aircraft powered by 2 electric motors with rechargeable propellers of 320 kilowatts. It's the world's first electric vertical takeoff and landing jet, yet not a helicopter, but what can be aptly described as the new flying car, one that could transform the world of private transport. But once airborne, its engines will enable it to fly like a conventional fixed-wing aircraft. The project was launched in Germany by Lilium Aviation, a startup created by a group of 4 engineers from Munich's Technical University and supported by the European Space Agency. For the team, it's possible to use an aircraft in everyday life, While airports are expensive to operate and utilize, the ultimate landing space for Lilium will be on any flat space of 15 by 15 meters, such as a park or a large garden. For any intending user, a pilot's license is still required, and the 20 hours of flying time is much shorter than that required for helicopter pilots, making it a more accessible option. So, come 2018, the Lilium Jet shall be up for sale. Finally, on Newsflash, American Airlines' former headquarters building has been imploded in Texas, the United States, to clear the way for a new corporate headquarters. Employees gathered for a ceremony before the building imploded with a giant bang, sending a cloud of smoke and dust into the sky near Dallas. The airline plans to build a new corporate headquarters building at the site.
Over the years, many plane mishaps has occurred across the country, increasing the fear of taking flights to different places. For some, traveling by air for some individuals is fun and also an opportunity for sightseeing, and for some others, it's the most dangerous way of going on a trip. Before booking a flight, a lot of people try to find out if the airline they are going to fly is a safe one. However, it's very difficult to say if an airline is safe or unsafe. What should be of utmost concern to an aircraft passenger is having some level of knowledge of flight safety in case an emergency landing occurs. The first and most helpful step a passenger can embark on is the one taken before the actual takeoff. Listen to the cabin crew. There are several safety tips. The first has to do with the seatbelt. Every passenger on board is expected to fasten his or her seatbelt before the plane takes off. Secondly, the seat should be upright and in a locked position during takeoff, as well as the end of the trip. Then the emergency exits. Jets and turboprops typically sport an emergency egress in addition to regular doors such as main cabin and/or flight deck door. And for some other aircraft, is the main cabin door closed after a water ditching, when the emergency exit may be more appropriate. Emergency O2. Flying above 25,000 feet, unconsciousness comes quickly in the event of depressurization. At 30,000 feet and above, unconsciousness comes in seconds. Death ultimately follows if left unattended. You need to know how to get emergency oxygen and have an idea of how to apply and use it. Only then can you offer your help to others. You should also be aware that a fire extinguisher could be necessary if a fire occurs on board. Remember the 3 nearly universal steps. remove the locking pin, point the nozzle at the base of the fire in almost all cases, and squeeze the handle, moving the nozzle from side to side to cover the base. Automated External Defibrillator, AED. These come in sizes down to around the dimensions of a 3-inch 3-ring binder, and they are used to save lives. All you need to do is find out the location. Survival Kit. The odds of going down somewhere beyond the reach of immediate help seems low in today's world, but such incidents do occur. Even if your aircraft goes down only a few miles from an airport, you'd want to avail yourself of as much material help as possible. Space blankets, for example, can help someone ward off the short-term impact of shock and the long-term impact of trauma. And when on board, you need to locate the passenger's checklist. All of these will indeed help whenever any emergency incident happens.
This is where our flight terminates and our feedback platform remains open. Thanks for your company. I'm Bukola Joe Ketumbi.